Hey there, Ronnie here. Real quick before we get into the main episode, I just want to let you know that early bird registration for the Redefined Network Marketing event happening May 4, 5, and 6 is now open. That's right. You can register at ronniecruz.com/redefine. I'm going to be teaching you everything that I've learned about online marketing in the last year and a half so that you can take your business online, on social media, and build massive success into this next decade and beyond. Again, you can go to ronniecruz.com/redefine. You're going to get an early bird pricing. Don't wait because this early bird registration is going to expire. Make sure you register today. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about your default and whether or not you know what that is. Now, before I get into the topic of this episode, I want to let you know that I am recording outside for those of you listening on the podcast. So you're going to hear noises from the main street, the main road. There's going to be vehicles going by, the occasional motorcyclist. And of course, here on the campgrounds, there's going to be your typical background noise, people talking, kids running around, again, the occasional vehicle driving by. It's actually quieter now. I've caught a window where it's quieter than it has been. This RV park, they've been doing a lot of construction recently, so it's been tough, but I got a quiet window and the weather has actually calmed down quite a bit. So hopefully the conditions stay stable enough, for long enough for me to get this episode done. Now, I wanted to talk about default because I am technically on vacation. And here I am, I've been thinking about this because I find myself consistently doing quote unquote work, right? I'm recording and publishing content, right? I'm creating and editing content and posting it online. I'm working on the book. I'm continually tweaking and finalizing stuff for the Redefined Network Marketing event happening May 4, 5, and 6. So I've consistently just been doing some work every day. On top of that, I've actually been getting a good workout in every day. One of the things I love about going on trips and being on vacation, quote unquote, is that I get to get some road miles in. I'm a runner. And so I've actually had the privilege of being able to run on the road, right? Getting those miles in every day since we've been out here. So, I haven't really taken a pause or a break, and I realized that I'm not really one to do that, right? I'm not really one to take a break or take a pause. My default is continually working and consistently moving towards an outcome, right? Whether it's with my health, I want to consistently move towards better health and longevity. Whether it's with my business, and until I achieve the outcomes that I set for myself, I'm going to consistently show up. It's one of the things that, these are the defaults that I've created for myself over the years, especially with showing up consistently every day, regardless of where I am or what I'm doing, or if I happen to be on vacation. Now, that consistency, what I've learned and through experience is what has largely contributed to my success over the years. So I'm going to always show up every day, regardless of if I'm on vacation or not, until the outcome that I set out to achieve has been fulfilled, right? So yeah, it's just my default, regardless again of the situation, or if I'm on vacation, if I'm at Disney, if I'm, you guys, if you've been following the show, I was in Cancun about a month ago, and I was doing recordings and publishing and stuff like that. So it's just my default. Now, of course, there are boundaries. I set boundaries for myself, whether or not I'm on vacation, right? I always draw a hard line as to when to shut off, right? So that I can actually enjoy the time and reconnect with why I'm working so hard in the first place. And also too, it's, because it's my default, I don't find that it's really a lot of work, or at least I don't feel like I'm working, right? Because it's towards an outcome that I'm really passionate and excited about, and that I'm very, very emotionally connected to. It just feels like, the thing to do, right? And in fact, I never feel like that a vacation is anything separate than daily life. And it's not because I work all the time. It's because my daily life is very much a vacation. I was also realized that, here we are in what typically is a vacation town. It's called Maggie Valley, North Carolina. And same thing with where I live, at home. It's, I live in a town called Hot Springs, North Carolina. And that's very much a vacation town as well. I realized that, well, instead of it being a vacation town, why don't I create it my main thing, right? Why don't I create a life where it's just every day, right? And so there's not really a huge, kind of delineation between what people would call everyday life and what they might call vacation. For me, it's just one and the same, and I get to enjoy both of those things equally as much. I think people, take vacations because they need a break from their daily life, and I get that, right? If you are in a situation or in a life that requires you to kind of do repetitive things and show up to the same thing every day, at least for me, that would kind of definitely require a break, right? It would need, I would definitely need to step away from that periodically. But I think the main question is, that I want you to ask yourself is, well, what is your default? Right? What is your default? I know circumstances kind of determine that, but if you want to get out of the mundanity of life and the repetitiveness of your situation, whatever that situation might be, even if you just want to create new outcomes in your life, you have to really be willing to set new defaults, right? Ask yourself, is your default vegging out and completely tuning out and escaping or seeking distraction from your normal everyday life? Or is your default continually working and striving towards different and perhaps better outcomes for yourself? And if it's not, then you may want to really get to work and changing those defaults, because if you don't, again, most people's defaults are lean towards distraction and lean towards escape and lean towards vegging out and checking out at every opportunity. All those defaults are not going to get you the outcomes that you're trying to create in your life. So, work towards creating new defaults, and I'll save that for a different video. But the main thing for this one is just being aware and really knowing what your defaults are, right? And if the default isn't helping you take daily steps towards your goals and dreams, then it's time to reevaluate and really work towards creating new defaults, right? All right, so that's my message for today. Hopefully that makes sense. I am going to go relocate because it's getting shadowy and dark in this particular spot where I'm recording at. So I will catch you tomorrow with a brand new episode. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.